Today we examine two developments that appear unrelated on the surface, yet are closely connected at a structural level. The first is OpenAI's renegotiation of its agreement with Microsoft. The second is Nvidia reaching a new all-time high in its share price.
While these events occur in different segments of the market, they reflect the same underlying shift within the AI industry. Let us begin with OpenAI. The core of this new agreement can be summarized in one word: decoupling.
Previously, OpenAI's compute infrastructure was largely tied to Microsoft Azure. Under the new framework, it is expanding toward a multi-cloud strategy, incorporating providers such as AWS and Google Cloud.
This transition indicates a move away from reliance on a single platform toward a more distributed allocation of computing resources. In practical terms, this expands both flexibility and scale, enabling broader deployment across the industry.
Turning to the second development, Nvidia's continued rise. The explanation lies in the persistent and growing demand for computational power. Regardless of how AI companies evolve, their core dependency on GPUs remains intact. As OpenAI and similar firms adopt multi-cloud strategies, demand does not diminish, it disperses.
What was previously concentrated within a single ecosystem now expands across multiple providers, effectively broadening total demand. This is the key linkage between the two developments, not a direct causal relationship, but a shift in demand structure. To better understand this dynamic, the AI industry can be viewed across three layers.
First, the compute layer, which provides foundational infrastructure. Second, the model layer, which builds core capabilities. Third, the application layer, which interfaces with end users.
At present, value capture is concentrated in the compute layer. This is largely due to the continued reliance on GPUs for training large-scale models, as well as the strength of Nvidia's CUDA ecosystem. However, this structure is not static.
Major cloud providers are actively developing proprietary chips, including TPU, Trainium, and Maya. These ASIC-based solutions offer advantages in cost and energy efficiency, particularly in inference workloads. As a result, a bifurcated structure is likely to emerge.
GPU dominance in training, and increasing ASIC adoption in inference. This suggests that while Nvidia may continue to grow, its pricing power could gradually face constraints. Returning to OpenAI, the broader implication of this agreement extends beyond infrastructure.
It reflects an intensifying competition over what can be described as the entry point to digital interaction. If user behavior shifts from application-based interfaces to AI-driven interaction, then control over the model layer becomes control over traffic. And by extension, control over value distribution.
This pattern is consistent with prior technological cycles, including operating systems and search engines. Accordingly, the industry appears to be in a transitional phase. In the near term, markets favor visibility and certainty, which supports continued strength in the compute layer.
Over the longer term, however, influence is likely to migrate toward the model layer. From an investment perspective, this evolution can be framed in three stages. First, monetization of compute infrastructure. Second, platform formation at the model level. Third, control of user access points.
It is important to note that expectations surrounding the first stage are already significantly reflected in current valuations. Therefore, while the long-term direction remains intact, timing and pricing warrant careful consideration. Looking ahead, three indicators will be particularly important.
Whether GPU pricing begins to soften, whether ASIC solutions achieve meaningful scale, and whether AI models establish themselves as primary user interfaces. Should these conditions materialize, a significant shift in market leadership may follow.
Ultimately, this is not solely a technological transformation, but a reconfiguration of industrial power. Control the entry point, and you define the rules of the system.
Leave your comment and subscribe our channel.